So what is application security? So before that, we need to know what is an application. So application is a program or a software designed to perform specific tasks for users. Okay, it's a program or a software which is designed to perform some task. You can see these are different applications. Okay, YouTube, WhatsApp. Okay, mobile apps like WhatsApp, Instagram, desktop software like Microsoft Word, Adobe, Photoshop, then web applications like Gmail, Amazon, YouTube. So these are all web applications. Okay. So then what is application security? So basically it refers to the process of identifying and repairing vulnerabilities in application software from development to deployment. Okay. It is from development to deployment phase. So we identify and we remediate or we repair, we help repairing the vulnerabilities to the development with the development team. So to prevent unauthorized access and modification or any misuse. Okay, this is just a basic definition of application security. Shall we move to next slide?
Yeah.
So why application security matters? So before that, I just want to show you one website. So this is a website. Okay, means it's a website where all the data breaches and hacks gets registered. Okay, in a like a very interactive way. You can see here. See, so these are all the like world's biggest data breaches and hacks. So selected events over 30,000 records stolen. So if 30,000 plus more if records has been stolen, right? Like this, let's consider this AT&T. You can see here 73 million records lost sensitive to 2019 data. You can see, understood, right? What is this means? So what is AT&T? So AT&T is a company in America, like how your Geo Airtel is there, right? Similarly, it's a SIM card kind of a thing company. So it has lost around 73 million records. Okay, so it is a data breach, and you can also see the French government also has lost the data. 43, I think 4.3 million something it is there. Dell also it is there. Okay, it also for and 200 million records for X means Twitter. So it also lost the data in 2022 November to Jan 2023. So whatever the data loss will be there, right? So that will be get registered here. So what that means? So here we have the there is lot of data getting lost by the hacker. So they are stealing the data from big companies to small companies. You can see this Facebook also. Even our Aadhaar also has lost the data, 1.1 billion data. Understood? Like you can click on anything, and you can just read if you want to read about any article. So you can read about the history about that, what happened, how many data got lost. So like that. So that is why the application securities matters. Okay. So applications handle sensitive data. Okay, like passwords, credit card numbers, user data, multiple organization data, sensitive files, right? If not secured, they can be hacked. So this could lead to what happened? Financial losses, data breaches, loss of trust in the business. Let's consider like Amazon. let us take an Amazon example. Okay, so what does this Amazon consists of? What sensitive data does it consist?
Credit card details, if this is for Amazon shopping.
Details,
User information.
user information, like mobile number, email ID,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Mobile number, email IDs. So these are all the sensitive data, right?
Yeah.
So even account number also sometime. So if we pay through net banking like that. So what happened? These, let's say, if an attacker got hacked this kind of sensitive data, so there will be financial losses. Okay, for the user as well as the company will also lose. So they might encounter to legal actions due to this. Then data breaches. So whatever the data of your user will be there, right? That could be get breached, and the hacker could use them somewhere else. Then loss of trust. So what a loss of trust means, when let's say this news has come into the it got very viral. So what happened? So what whoever the customers are there to Amazon or like that, so they will be switching to the alternative one, right? Even the business sales comes down. So that's how impact this application security matters. Like here you can see another example. Like imagine a banking application. If a hacker exploits a security weakness, so they could steal customer money and access private data like account details. So in bank application also, if this happen, so it could also lead to these all consequences. Then application security ensures that the app is protected from the such threats. So these are all the threats. What is threat? Like financial losses could happen, data breaches, loss of trust. So
Yeah.
from this, we need to secure our application. Okay. Shall I move to next slide?
Yeah.
So another thing, what are the consequences? So you can see, so like economic impact for the application. So assume any application, like direct financial losses, cost of recovery and mitigation. So cost of recovery in the sense, if they have find any vulnerability or if they have lost any customer data, so they cannot recover it much, but they have to mitigate the solution, right? And also they have to work for their legal actions if if the user has reported that in consumer court somewhere else. So impact on business and economics also happens. So if we don't secure the application, what are the impacts? Here we have noted here, like operational disruption. Let's say if there is any downtime for the application, if any application is not working properly, or and loss of productivity and impact on critical infrastructure, like example healthcare, energy. So this could also happen. So if it is a government website which is got hacked, so that also can lead to some operational. So what you can say, do you heard regarding Instagram? I think Instagram was down for one day last year,
Yeah.
or uh, I think last year.
Before. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is operational disruption. So something happened. Maybe it got DOS attack or something happened. Okay, DOS means it's a kind of a attack which is used to bring the application down. Okay, like it is not satisfying the availability. It's not satisfying the availability of the application. So like that. So this could happen. Then reputational damage. So long-term brand damage could happen. Then legal and regulatory consequences. So I've said it. fines and penalty, legal battles, and settlements they have to give to the customer who has suffered due to this hack. Then societal impact. So let's say if it is any sensitive videos or photos that got released, so like that. So it could also happen, right? So it can be related to societal impact, like for individuals' privacy, so like that, and personal data. So if it is a national security like website, national security website, so that can also lead to national security implications, right? Any other country can store some data from our national security websites, so like that. So these are all the consequences for application if we don't focus on the application security. Okay,
Okay.
so moving on to next slide. So what are the goals of the application security? So this I have highlighted yesterday, right? Like the primary goals of the application security can be explained using CIA Triad. So this is Triad. So it's not a CIA Triad, but I will tell you basically these are the three pillars or these are the three goals of the application. Means they need to be confidential. The application. So application need to be confidential. Application need to be integrity. Application need to be available. So what that means is let us take so before taking example, I will tell you what is confidentiality. So protect sensitive data from unauthorized access. So what that means is it should not be, so let's say if any application is there that should not be accessed by any other person apart from their own developers or admins. Okay. Then integrity. So integrity means who there should not be any kind of a modification done on the application uh, like uh, by any other user. Okay, so that is known as integrity. So ensure data is accurate and hasn't been altered. So that is integrity. Then availability. So ensure the application is accessible when needed to the users. So all these are related to the user only. User means customer, you can say. So customer and application. So that's a relation kind of thing. So what that means is, let's say any application is there, like Amazon or Flipkart or any banking application like ICICI Bank. Okay, so how it is confidentiality means let's say what does ICICI website? It is a web application. It's a mobile application, right? It has web app and it has a mobile app. So these apps should not be given access to any other person apart from the account holders. Okay, that also they should have the limited kind of thing access, or how much access is required, that much access only should be given to the user, normal user or the customer. And if they want to change any kind of username or password, so it is okay. They might give option, but they might need to change some other details address. So they should not be able to change directly in the application. So they should reach out to some other person, right? Admin. So that person only need to be able to access to that part of the application. So like that. So whatever the access required to the customer, till that only the access should be given. More than that privilege, it's not given. Okay. So that is known as confidentiality. Then comes the integrity. So integrity, let us expand. Like let's take an example of Amazon. So for Amazon, so if there will be price modification, right? So if they do any price modification in the front end, and if it also placing the order with the same price which user has modified, so then there is a issue. So then it is a vulnerability. Means it is accepting the alteration. Means it is accepting the modification done by the user. So that should not be done. So it is known as integrity. So no other person should be able to modify the data of the application except from the admins or developers. Whoever are responsible, they only need to modify, not the customer here. So customer could be a genuine person, customer could be a hacker, right? So his intention could be different, like that. So that is integrity. So it should be having integrity. Then availability. So application should be available whoever want to use at that time. So application should not be going down. So like we to do DOS attacks or like that, because they might lose the customers. So if the application is down, so they might look out for some other option. So like that. So take an example like ride handling app like Uber. Customer data is encrypted. So whatever the customer confidentiality. So it is also like confidentiality. Like we can also set like a name, location, or a credit card. So these are encrypted. Okay, this is also related to confidentiality, and access related issue also related to confidentiality. So unauthorized access should not be given. So like that. Then ride prices and route information cannot be tampered with by hackers. So this is integrity. Then app must be available during peak times without crashing. This is availability. So if an application satisfies all these three goals, right, then we can consider that the application is secure. So why we are encrypting here? Because no other person can see this data. Okay, so whenever when we enter the customer data from client in the client, like Uber application is the client, server will be Uber server. So the data will be going to client, right? From client to server, the data will be going. From server to client, the response will be coming. So like that. So basically, this is client server model. Every application uses the same model, client server model. So we will learning in future, but you understand, like whatever the name, so whichever goes through internet, right? That should be encrypted only. So encrypted is like converting into some other form the actual data using some algorithms. So this also we will learning later. So like that. Understood what is application security goals? Do you have any doubts?
No.
Okay, clear, right? So I just want to like tell you like whatever the vulnerabilities will be there, right? Which we will be getting, that need to be satisfied these three goals. Then only it is considered to be remedy. It is not vulnerable now. So like that. So this is the statement I am giving. Like so, if an application does not satisfy any three of the goals, right? So it is then the application is considered to be vulnerable. Okay. Then comes the evaluation of the web applications. Like early days of the web apps. So we used to have some static pages. Do you remember, like for Google, what was the our first page? It was non-interactive, right? So it was only kind of a read-only pages, like how Wikipedia is there right now. So our like Google was like that at that time, right? In the early days of the web in 1990s or like that. Even in 2000 early, maybe that was it's looking like that only. Then they have moved to like little bit advanced, like they have started some server side scripting languages in early 2000s, like enable the user input, like it tries to take the some kind of a user input, like Facebook, you can say Facebook, how starting it was. So it was looking like some only with minimal interactions, so like username and password. So then it was like not much interactive. It is a dynamic content little bit. Then so web 2.0 era. So that is currently that we are in, like rich user experience. with Ajax and JavaScript frameworks. Then rise of social media platforms and e-commerce platform. So most of the businesses are going digital, right? Currently. So in static pages, right? Static. So in the early web developments, in early web pages, the security was not considered because those are static pages. So there will be no user input, right? So if there is no user input, no user interactions, the hacking also will be low. So the hackers also will not be able to attack, right? Because the hackers also the customer who try to input something. So that at that time the security was high, you can say. Means actually there was no need of a security also. Then when this 2.0 era came, what happened? So user interactions got developed more. You can say we have a create account, we have username and password, we have search. So we have how much comfortable we can make to the users, that much they have made. Even the commenting feedback they have added. So they have added the support portals, right? So like that, the user interactions has gone very high now. So due to this, what happened? The hacker also interact with the same application, right? So he can find multiple ways to enter into the application and get and steal the data from the application. So in 2.0 era, so that is why the web application securities matters now. Okay, so that's why security is very having a high what you can say demand now for the web applications, because any application don't want to lose any trust from the customer. So everyone want to have their customers growing, and they want to grow their business in all over the world. So for that they need to maintain the proper trust with the customer. So trust with the customer means they need to maintain their data properly, securely. So like that. Then modern web applications like API. So this is also web 2.0 more kind of advanced frameworks using like React, JS, like Angular. So like this is how the web application era got improved. So nowadays you can see like artificial intelligence has came, chatbots has came. So like cloud-based and serverless architectures. So this is how advanced it is going, and more it will be going more and more advanced in future. So even the security will be getting more exposed. Means even the security we need to be improved more and more. Like that. This is just the evolution how the web applications got evolved in this era in 1990s to current era. So coming to the common web applications. So first is user interactions like login or registration, user profile management. So why I'm talking about the common web applications is, so our main focus is to secure these applications, these web application functionalities, right? So this is where the user or the hacker tries to interact with the application and try to enter into the application. So like login page, so he can use any brute force attack. Okay, he can use any SQL injection. So he can use any cross-site scripting. In search button, he can use cross-site scripting attack. Okay, like that. And the add to cart. So this is add to cart also. Here also you can go through any address details while entering there. So he tried to inject some malicious code. So wherever there is a user input, right? So that functionality need to be secure first. Then data management, like uploading files, storing information. Like let's take the Google Drive example. So there also, if the customer or if the attacker tries to enter any malicious file in the Google Drive, so try to corrupt the application. So that also need to be properly verified. Okay. Then database interactions, I've said it, SQL injections comes under this. Like some CRUD operations, like create. remove, update, and delete. So any operations is tried to perform wherever there is SQL interaction. So database interactions can be done in user page, right? Username, password. So whenever you have given, let's take an example. Let's when you enter any credentials, what happened? What will be the workflow? The idea. Let's take facebook.com. Yeah. So once I have entered here my credentials, what happened when I clicked on login? I just want to know, what do you know about it?
It goes to the page.
Yeah, it goes to the page. Which page? Your page, right? It will
Yeah.
show you your own account page. So how it is validating means, so firstly, what happens? So whenever you enter any credentials, okay, this one. So this is, assume this is a login page. So here it is username, password, submit. So let's say I have given username as a user one, password as given password 123 something. So
Yeah.
like that. So what happened? Firstly, this will go as a request, and there will be coming a response. So first it will go as a request means it will take like this. Just assume like it is going like a container kind of thing. It's going like this. So username is user one and password is this. So it will go to the which server? Facebook server. First, this will go into the Facebook server. In the Facebook server database, so server database, it will check whether this user one is already present or not in the database. Okay, this happens in very less time, so that we don't know. But this happens in the backend. Like it will check whether there is a user one or not. So if there is no user one, what it will be reflecting back?
Register.
Right, it will ask to create an account. Right. So this is how they write the code. Like, the user is not there, so throw this error, like throw this page, create an account page. So like that.
Okay.
So what happens? So if the user is present, it will reflect back with the page which user has opened earlier. So like that. So it will show the user's page now, user account page of Facebook. So these all happens in the backend. What happens? So why here? What it is interacting with database, right? So what is database consists of? Which language? Database having which language?
SQL.
SQL, right? So this here there is a chance of getting SQL injection.
Yeah.
Understood? Like that. So if there is a search button, so search also. Let's say whenever you search anything in Amazon, okay, where the data comes from?
Server. Amazon.
Let's say I have searched here like headphones. Okay, I've searched headphones here. So this one click, like it has shown very immediately, right? So these are the headphones that are present. So how much backend data it will be there? Like it also checked in the database, right? In the server also. So whether these earphones are present in godowns or not. So in such a way it will be checking. Means if there is no stock and we are showing the headphones means so it's a no use, right? So like that. So even it will having some ERP tools like SAP or any other so different tools, like it will be verifying from there like whether it is present or not. So SAP is also a backend tool, so it is also a database kind of thing. It can be used as a database also. So like that. So it will be checking in the SAP whether in the go downs the product is there or not. So here also SQL, in SAP also we can use SQL. So there also it will be checking like whether the like I mean in search button also the where we require the SQL injection. So there could be also occur the SQL injection. I'm saying so like that. So these are all like different fields now. So database have set. Then shopping carts and payments. So these are also input fields. So these also need to be checked secure. Then order tracking and history page. So then search bars, filters, menus. These are all also like some functionalities that we need to secure. Then chat systems, email notifications, then APIs for integration and third party APIs. So payment gateway APIs also need to be get secured properly. APIs means so we don't directly write the code. We call the API payment gateway API, and let's say if I want to like this payment gateway API is something to UPI gateway or somewhere some application gateway it will be there. So through that we make the payment. So that API, so it interacts like this application gets integrated with the API only, not the direct applications, right? So if you want to integrate one application with another application, you can integrate it with the APIs, application programming interface, right? So you directly, so there will be two interfaces for any application. One is user interface that which we know, like whatever that is show as our client. So like Amazon, so that we say right. So that is user interface. Another thing is application programming interface. So it will be like it is used for like communicating with another application. Okay. So even that also APIs need to be secure. So these are some common web app functionalities that we need to secure. Any doubts here?
No.
No, web.
Okay. Then comes the different ways to secure application. Okay. Proper input validation. Okay. I'm just giving introduction to these terminologies because this we will be using in further sessions. Okay. Input validation means I have said right, like whatever the username and password, whatever it is going to the server, right? Whichever data, so that need to be properly validated. Let's say instead of in username I have given some other malicious code like which is a payload, SQL payload kind of thing. So SQL payload is like admin something hyphen, I think I have given like this. So what happens, this is the comment in case of the SQL injection, sorry, in the SQL code, this is considered to be comment. So till this only it will be taking as the input and it will load the admin page. So like that. So this should not be done. So means proper validation should be there. Input validation. Then authentication mechanisms. So like we need to use some authentication mechanisms also in order to be secure. Like we can use some authenticators or any kind of what you can say some tokenizations. Okay.
Yeah.
Tokenization concepts in our applications without like whether there will be some tokens like generating like JW token like that it will be there. So these tokens what they do, they work as some kind of a access or authentication, like this user have this kind of access, so he need to allow only this page to the application. In the application he need to allow only to this page. It should not be like what is this means, let's say consider, let's say you are working in organization. Let's we all are working in organization. So we will be having one ID card, right? So this ID card only we use for authentication and authorization. Both we use, like authentication, authorization, like how much you are authorized, how much you have the authentications. It means, let's say I have entered into the office with this by tapping my ID card at the gate. But there will be few rooms in the office, right? Let's say that there is a server room. So I will not be able to authenticate into the server room because I don't have the access to that, right? So this is how, like JW tokens also work like that. So if we give a token to that application user, so in the request it will be there. I will show you. Just assume, like if we use the proper authentication mechanisms, we can control the access of the user. So he will not able to enter into any page of the application, any sensitive page of the application. So that is authentication mechanisms. Okay. Also, you can set some authentication authenticators for your application when in the login page. So it generates the, so it supports the user consent. Okay. Even the user details have been hacked, but without user consent, like you need to enter some OTP or you need to enter some authenticator number on that which is connected to his mobile. So what happens here? There will be user consent also added, so that he can only access. No other person can access this with his credential. So like that. Then process proper access control need to be given in order to secure application. So like only read only access need to give some for some user how much access is required, that much access only should be given. Okay. So like that, you can use some tools also for this, like privilege access management tools, IAM tools. So this is how you can secure applications. So this we will be seeing in detail later. Like actually we don't require like that, but these are some solutions you need to give to the development team. Okay. Like privilege access management means it allows access to only the users who have to access that part of the application. Okay. Let's say 3D, you are the user who have like some less access compared to the Sridhar. So what happens, they will create some roles. Okay. So in that role, Srini will be given in one role access, and Sridhar will be given to other role access. So what happens in the application, you will be having less access to the application comparing to the Sridhar. So like that, they will be dividing the access. So this is known as access controls. So you can set role based access. You can set time limit access. For this much time only, this user need to be accessed. So like that. So this is all some other solutions you can say. Then data encryption, right? So whenever the data in transit or whenever the data is in rest. So data in transit means when the data is going through internet, and when data at rest means when the data is present in the database. So both the data need to be encrypted. So when the data will be transit, when it is going from client to the server. Let's say what happens is whenever you just give me. So this is my page, right? Facebook. I will inspect this. I will show you what is the request and response. So what I did now, I will just reload the page. So you can see these are all the request and response that is going from here to server, Facebook server. So this is, let's say, assume. So you can see request. I have requested this URL, get method. So this is my remote IP address, and it gives some data. So it will be sending this all data to the server. So this is the user who is trying to reload the page. Like these are the response headers. So this page, however it looking like, right? That is because of these response headers. So these are all the request headers. These are all the response headers. So request headers that we send from here to server, Facebook server. Response headers is that comes from server to here in this page. So that is known as request and response. So that data need to be encrypted properly, whatever it is going through the internet, right? And whichever data is in the database, that also need to be encrypted properly. Then comes the secure code practices. So if we follow some secure coding practices, means developers. So if the developers follow some secure coding practices, so we will be seeing what are secure coding practices, like properly validating the users, properly using the URLs. So like all the secure coding practices. So then we can also avoid like we can also secure our application through this. Then regular security testing, here we can secure the application. Then like different testings like SAST, DAST, SCA, all these proper testings if are done, and pen testing, so then our application is considered to be secure because we are continuously testing, right? So then there is a very less chance to get hacked. Then using the secure frameworks in the and libraries. So whatever the frameworks and libraries used during the development phase, so those need to be a very secure framework so that it adds a very secure layer to the application from inbuilt also. Like from inside also it will be very secure. So because of that, like we can use this. So this also improves the application security. Then implement a software bill of materials. So as form like this is also some other terminology. Like what is this means? Whatever the libraries, third party code we will be using, right? That need to be maintained. Like we are using this third party code in our application. So whatever the code or materials you are using in application, they should be list with you, because if there is any kind of vulnerability in any of the library, right? So you need to verify it whether we do have that vulnerability or not in our application, and we can immediately get update that library to the latest one. So that's why it is important to maintain the software bill of materials. Okay, so this you will be understanding in SCA later, software composition analysis. Then monitoring and logging, so setting some tools like sim tools, soft tools. Okay, there will be some monitoring tools and some uh, different so which also gives the alert tools. So if we set that, right, let's say if there is any let's say Amazon user page is there, anyone is trying to attempt it for three times or more, so there should be proper log activity, means after three times you need to be get logged out. Okay, or else there is some unusual activity going on in any application. Okay, so that need to be monitored, so that need to be noted to the application admin or someone, or support team at least. So like that. Then protect against common attacks. So some common attacks also you need to protect from, like DOS attacks, cross scripting, so to secure your application. Then session management. So session management is nothing but let's say uh, sometimes you fill some details, right, in any sensitive like application. Some, I think banking applications will have less session time, because what happens, the banking application, what is session management is nothing but, let's say for 5 minutes only you can fill the details, otherwise the application will get logged off, so the session will be getting terminated. So that is all. Let's say, means hacker could not hack it will very quickly, right? So he wants some time to hack the application. So if you set some session management, like for 10 minutes my session should be logged out if the user is using for long time, so that session should be logged out. So if it is a sensitive application, I'm saying, like banking application or any organization like TCS, Infosys applications, so them, so like that there should be proper session management. So this also secures our applications. Then educate developers and users. So if we educate the users are nothing but the end users. customers. So how to use the application, so setting some SOPs like that, or if we educate the developers how to write the code properly, so that also improves the security of the application. Then incident response plan. So let's say if there is a incident came into the came for our application. Okay, if incident occurred in our application, so there should be already ready as a response plan, because let's say some kind of application gone down, like Amazon went down for at least 1 hour, so immediately it got down. Okay, so what happened, we need to have a response plan ready immediately, because our application should not be not be down for more time. So why it does not satisfy the availability goal now here. So it's not satisfying the goal means our application is not secure. So that's why we should have proper incident response plan ready to secure our application. Any doubts till now?
No, bro.
No.
So some terminologies might be like little difficult to understand it currently, maybe, but this you will be getting habituated in the further classes. Okay, so these
Okay.
are like some solutions you can provide to development team. So always you need to think like a problem solver. So I will I'm just giving you like how to like excel in this career is, like you need to think like a problem solver always. So that is the only key for cyber security. And you can also like how should be you, like you should think like a business person, you should think like a architect, and you should think like a owner of the application. So this issue has come to my application, how can I resolve it, right? So like that you need to think, then only you can answer the questions easily. And use technical words more, like we need to use very technical words, so in order to be like have proper knowledge, right? So while giving the answer or like that, not using more technical, I'm saying with the cyber security language, you can say. So cyber security is kind of a language, so where we have different terminologies like authentication, authorization, access control, encryption, input validation, and like session management. So these are all the some terminologies, so which we need to use. Yeah. That's it for today.